Thank you for joining us tonight on Crypto City. Can't believe it's already February. This year is just flying by. And those of us in the U.S., there's a few contracts out right now on Punxsutawney Phil. So, make sure you duck if you're close to the ground because we're aiming for him. It's extremely cold, frigid, never-ending winter. Like, I'm done with it. But more time in the house and hiding from the cold has resulted in much more time in VR and some new projects. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. And in a few minutes, we're also going to be bringing out one of our community favorites, hip-hop artist and entertainer, Koan Kenpachi. But first, let's start with a hot topic in the news right now, the DeepSeek disruption and what it means about AI and the economy right now. So let's start with what is DeepSeek? So DeepSeek is a Chinese AI company that has recently developed an advanced AI model that actually rivals the big tech companies like OpenAI with ChatGPT, Google with Gemini, and Anthropic with Claude. But at a much lower cost. And this breakthrough is really shaking up the AI industry because it proves that cutting edge AI is no longer limited to like the billion-dollar companies with these massive resources. So some of the biggest AI players DeepSeek is competing with include, ChatGPT backed by Microsoft, Google DeepMind, which, they're the ones who, the developers of Gemini, and Anthropic, who's the makers of Claude, which is an AI assistant focused on safety and ethics. So this is rivaling these big names, and this is making a huge shakeup for a lot of the high-tech companies. DeepSeek's ability to develop these high quality AIs at a fraction of the cost challenges the idea that only the richest of companies can lead AI innovation. This is how this could actually shift the world economy. Lower costs, more access. If AI becomes cheaper to develop, more businesses and startups and even individuals can build their own AI models. So this is making technology much more widely available and shifting the power away from the big tech companies. And right now, AI is controlled by a few major US-based companies. If smaller global companies like DeepSeek can compete, we could see a much more decentralized AI landscape everywhere. And the economic shifts between the countries, well, the U.S. has led AI development. But if China's DeepSeek and other emerging AI companies grow quickly, we could see a huge shift in the technological leadership here. So the job market's going to change. More powerful and affordable AI could replace jobs faster in some industries while creating lots of new job opportunities in others. And depending on how businesses and governments respond, this is going to really shake things up. So DeepSeek's rise could lead to a new wave of AI innovation, forcing big tech companies to lower their prices, become far more competitive. It also could push AI regulation and ethics discussions forward as the governments try to keep up with the rapid developments. For us here, this is especially relevant because AI is starting to play a much bigger role in blockchain and Web3, in automating smart contracts, in improving securities, and even creating AI-powered decentralized applications. So this is a huge moment in AI history, and we're only at the beginning. So as always, technology is changing by the minute, and we're still in the early stages, but moving faster than the speed of light going forward. It's just super impressive and overwhelming at the exact same time. So keep your eyes and ears open, pay attention. A lot of the governmental shifts right now are definitely making an impact, and, just everyone play it safe. Make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing. If you're creating things out there, pay attention to intellectual property right now. But if you're in there and you're just playing around with it, take advantage, ride the wave, and enjoy everything that's coming out at you right now because it's coming out fast and furious. And speaking of coming out fast and furious, let's bring out tonight's guest. So we're going to sit back and enjoy some time with the charismatic Koan Kenpachi. Koan, please join us on stage. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Please grab a seat.
What's down, baby? How y'all doing? What's up, y'all? What's up? What's down, baby? What's down?
Thank you for joining us tonight.
I left y'all radio on backstage. Let me turn it down. All right. What's up?
Of course you did. So thank you for joining us tonight. I'm sure everybody here knows who you are. Maybe some of our listeners out in YouTube are not familiar. So why don't you give us a little bit of an introduction to Koan and the music industry that you've been involved in your journey?
I'm Koan Kenpachi. Y'all know that. I'm an IRL recording artist, musician, sometimes actor, sometimes goofball.
Sometimes
I do a whole lot of stuff. Nah, but I've been playing music my whole life, like for real. Like I started playing music when I was 6. Started playing alto saxophone. I was writing poetry. I think like maybe junior high. You know, I played instruments my whole life. I've been doing it for quite a while. And once I got into music, and got into the music industry, I realized like the music industry and music is two separate things. So that was a culture shock. But I love doing what I do. So, you put up what you put up because I love doing it.
For the passion. So talk about, so you're from NOLA. So tell us a little bit about how that culture has actually influenced the music that you've created.
In a huge way. Like I said, I've been playing instrumental music since I was a kid. And then, New Orleans is a huge music culture place. Like the hospitality industry, entertainment, food, music, it's just kind of like in your blood down there. And it's a huge music program, for kids. So a lot of people come up, playing instrumental music and they get into whatever field of music that they decide to do. But New Orleans is kind of like is geared towards bringing music into kids' lives at a young age and developing it, And it's just something. I think it's just something in the water or something in New Orleans because they got they got some of the best musicians I've ever met or heard like in my life in New Orleans. And I mean, these are world-renowned people, and some of these people not even like musically trained. Some of these people, it's like even back since Louis Armstrong never had a trumpet lesson in his life. Like he just played horn, and that like in New Orleans, people just kind of come out like that. They got a lot of people. Like if you're trombone shorty, it's in the genes, like trombone shorty. This dude literally, he got the name trombone shorty because dude was playing the trombone when it was bigger than him.
Okay.
Like for real, it was this little kid used to come out to like the second lines and stuff and like blow cats down on the trombone like a little kid. Like he just, it's
so
just,
we see two of your albums up here too, Chronicles of a Dying Breed and Supremium. So are they, tell us a little bit about the we know it's hip hop, but the message that you're trying to convey with your music.
All right. So my music really just be like a reflection of my life. Like, honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like I talk about things from social issues to like battle rap. I just kind of like, I express what I see and what I feel. So like life is just my inspiration. Like for real. I don't, like I write, according to how I feel, or according to the things I'm experiencing or observing. And that's life is kind of like my muse. And so Chronicles of a Dying Breed is really just my first solo record, right? So I started out professionally with a live band, and we was first called Atman Roots, right? Atman being like, I think like a Sanskrit word, and it means soul, right? Soul roots. So the problem with that was we was very closely kind of like the band The Roots, you know what I'm saying? And I like one day I was like, when we started kind of, making our noise and shit, I'm like, yo, we kind of got to change the name of this because, I was with people who didn't know a lot about hip hop, right? So to just give you like a makeup of the band, it was myself. It was a white dude on guitar. We had a Jewish bass player and a Venezuelan drummer.
Okay.
Right?
That's eclectic.
So it was like a black dude, a white dude, like a Jewish dude, and like gave my partner so I could fuck with him like this. I call him a Mexican all the time. Even though he's not from Mexico, he's from Venezuela, but I just, I call him tacos. He called me fried chicken. It's love. It's a love thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So So, you know, we was like, it was me, I was rapping, and it was like live music, right? So I'm like, yo, that's too much like the roots. We can't really do that. Cause you know, like when I come, you can be biting cats, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though we had more of a world music, it was like a mix, right? So it was like a rock, Latin, world music, hip hop kind of like mashup thing, right? It was like literally kind of like a gumbo of different kind of music rolled up into one. I think that's why we did so well. Like people had never, like you never heard a dude rap in 7 time. For anybody out there who in music, like, yeah, I literally got a song where I rap in 7. I know it's gangster. I know. But so we made 2 records. We made 2 records before I did Chronicles of a Dying Breed. And one of them was like a live record we recorded live in NOLA in this jazz club, and it was called Hip Hop is Hip. It was a long, crazy fucking name. I have so many years ago, I can't even remember how to say the shit. But either way, even still, I mean, I'll be high. My bad, y'all. I'll be high. I'll get back to y'all with it. But it was a live record that we recorded live, like in this place, and it was dope. And then we changed the name. We decided to come up with the name EOE, Equal Opportunity Employment, because of the dynamic makeup of the band. And that shit just worked. Like when people saw it, they were like, so a black dude, a white dude, a Jewish dude, and a Mexican all walked into a bar. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it just, you know, it took off. And then we recorded an album after Hurricane Katrina called Fortunate Circumstance. And so we recorded that record in literally like a solar power studio in the middle of New Mexico. Like you had to drive like 2 hours on a dirt road to get out into the middle of the fucking desert where this dude had this house. I mean, it's literally like one house in the fucking middle of nowhere. Like he got these solar panels up all around the house, and the inside of the house is just like the whole place. Maybe about big as this room is a studio, like one big studio. And so we stayed out there for like 2 weeks recording the album Fortunate Circumstance.
Barn recordings. Interesting.
Yeah. Nah, it was state of the art in there. Like he had it was a dope studio, but it was solar power, and it was pretty fly. I ain't gonna lie. So that first album was recorded green.
There you go. Back in the day.
Yeah, I mean that was some years ago though. But then, you know, we started touring and we got bigger and bigger, and we got on a couple of like, you know, decent tours and did some stuff. And of course, like as always, and you've been playing with musicians for a certain amount of time and so long, we start to have creative differences about stuff, right? Like I wanted to do more hip hop stuff, and like Billy, who was the other person who started the band, you know, he wanted to do more jazzy, you know, shit like that. So I just decided to go solo, right?
Okay.
And it was a tough split up too, because I think, you know, he was kind of upset about me leaving the band because it kind of failed after that. You know, like he tried to get other people to like, you know, cover it, but you can't really cover Kenpachi. Like nobody can't work my shift, so it didn't work. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And so
then you moved on and created a couple
Chronicles,
your own.
Chronicles of the Dying Breed. Yep, Chronicles, and that was a huge accomplishment, man, because I made that record like we was dead ass broke. Like I ain't have no money. I had 2 little kids, but I wanted to make this fucking record, like to prove something. And so, I mean, we got a really, really, you know, with the help of some friends and like donations from people who believed in, you know, what I was doing. Like I was able to create a professional level album, like with, I mean, it's standard as any other professional artist, right? And I did that from like the dirt. Didn't have shit. And so, and it was a huge record. Like I didn't have a lot of money to promote it, but we did what we did to get it out. We ended up, you know, it became a really popular record. Like we got praise from like all the magazines in New Orleans. You know, I started getting recognitions for songs. We had a song that was 10 weeks #1 in Germany called Made to Murder on that record. So, you know, I did a lot with that, and I made that without shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Well, it's good to see that you're homegrown.
Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
So now
And then,
bringing hip hop into the metaverse. So you've kind of, been actively involved in doing that. There's a lot of hip hop artists in the metaverse right now. We've had a few on before, like Yo Afro. We've got, Fiji. We've had a few people come in here, and
that's my peeps.
Yeah. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
talk about when you come into the metaverse, how are you finding the the community that supports hip hop, but also like other people who are also doing this in here that you can kind of feed off of each other and have that community together to bring an actual movement in here like this.
Like when I first got, like, I got an Oculus, I got the headset because I saw a commercial, and the commercial had some people chilling on the crescent moon, just kind of chilling, like, kind of talking. I was like, yo, that's dope. When I realized it's actual people, I was like, oh, that's tough. I got one just, for just like to fuck around, right? So when I got in, I was like, damn, this is like people got nightclubs, and people got worlds, and they got music and shit. And I was like, this is like a fucking untapped resource of like fans and people that to put your music out to. So I looked at it like that and started like reaching around, finding people who own clubs or who had certain shit that was playing music. And shout out to Andrew Money, because Andrew Money was one of the first people in the Horizons to play my music in his world. He had a blackjack world, if anybody remember that, back in the Gap. And Andrew started spinning my music, and then Brooklyn Brit and Howard and Cherry just kind of chilling in the blackjack world. We up in there playing, and the song come on, and I'm like, yo, damn, that's my song. And people's like, word, that's you? You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of took
That's
off
so
from
cool.
there. Yeah. And next thing you know, I was in a lot of clubs, and a lot of different things, and then you start meeting people like Yo Afro and Fiji and all the rest of the people who do music in here. And it's like, and you realize, damn, it's a whole community of people who do this. And like, yeah, I met some great people in here. And I think bringing your music to the metaverse, like, I believe that's huge for you. Like, this is becoming like the new social media. Like, it's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And establishing a fan base in here is basically virtually establishing a fan base kind of like anywhere, because it's actual people. It's real people.
Absolutely. So now you're hearing your music playing in here, and then you start performing in here. And obviously it's a little different performing in here than it is performing in the real world. But, tell us a little bit about, actually coming in here and starting to do stuff like that. Obviously there's some, you get invited to be part of different events. How challenging is it to perform in here? And what are the pros and cons that you feel for that? Because there's obviously technological challenges that come along with it.
It is pros and cons to it too. And I think to me, it's kind of like an even thing, right? Pros. I can have on my boxers and a wife beater when I'm doing the show. Like, I can't do that in real life.
That's true.
I can have on some Snoop Dogg slippers and or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and do the show. And it's dope. Also, like a pro to it is people really get to hear your music, right? You know what I'm saying? Yes. So because of the technological difficulties and gaps, you can't, for a rapper, it's hard because there's going to be a delay, and rapping is about timing, right? It's absolutely about timing. So if I can't sound on time with the beat, I probably shouldn't even be doing this shit, right? Because you're not putting your best foot forward, and I happen to know in music, man, say if somebody never ever heard me ever before, and you hear me rapping, it's off beat, it's off time, you've already established, how you feel about me and my music.
Yep.
Exactly. You're like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So that's like a challenge. And the cons is you don't get to hear the passion in my live performance. You don't get to see my facial expressions. You don't really get to see the way my body moves. You don't really get to feel the energy of a live performance. So I think, it's trade-off. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
at the end of the day, you're still presenting your music to people who would not have otherwise heard it, and you know, and they're getting your music at its best quality. You know what I'm saying? Like you hearing the professionalism in the music. Like you can hear my mix, and you know, people who know about music, you know. But even if you don't, you could tell when production ain't great. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
You know.
I mean, and so some of the challenges, you know, that you talked about, like the latency and the lag that you have with the music. I mean, there's ways to work around it. For anyone who's been in here and been to a concert, you know that a lot of times people are actually like almost like Milli Vanilli up there. You're moving around on the stage,
Milli Vanilli
playing behind you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but you know, so like that's happening because that's the way to work around it and it still get your music played out there. But other people have gone more of an acoustic route and where they're actually like singing into the headset without music because then their voice is projecting or playing the music from their headset out. So
from their headset,
people do
right?
work around it. But it's funny because
this is my thing with the workaround. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The workaround thing for me is like, okay, you're producing your own music and you're singing, but I'm like just being honest, it never sounds great. It never ever sounds great. And like I come from like I said, I grew up in instrumental music. I've been in bands my whole life. Like I believe in professional sounding music, right? And as an artist who has a hand in dealing with the production and every aspect of my music, my hand is in every piece of it, right? I value the quality of the sound of my music. And I don't want to give you that, right? Yeah, you will hear me doing it for real, but the sound quality is never great. It's never great.
Yep.
It's never great. And I would rather give you, like I said, I'd rather put my best foot forward, and I don't feel like that's putting my best foot forward, right?
I agree with you.
Because it's just it never sounds good.
What we did do back in the alt space days, we always got to go back there because technology was so much greater. But we actually did a concert for my nonprofit, and we had, instead of having people play their music through the headset or on stage, we actually streamed in live. Like, say you'd be at your house performing, we streamed you in live up onto the screen. So they were actually hearing you perform and watching you perform live. So you talk about not being able to see like the bodies moving around and all this stuff. We captured it and streamed it in. And it was actually kind of a great way to do the show because the avatars were on stage, but the actual artist was playing live up on the screen. So it was kind of a really fun way to do it and get people more of a quote live performance. That
is great. Happening. That is live. Only downside to that is I can't do it in my boxes in the wife beater. I mean,
there's that. We perform.
If you're gonna put a camera on me, then now I gotta, now I gotta look presentable. Yeah.
You know what? We had a huge list of people that performed. We even had Nancy Fletcher. She was our headliner for the show. It was amazing. So it was definitely, an option. So we do see different things. But, as we see here up on the screen, you've definitely, this is just a little touch, but you've been on many different concerts and, different performances and stuff. But you've also done some acting in here too. So tell us a little bit about your acting that you've done in here.
I have done some acting here, but I've done some acting IRL too. You know what I'm saying? I act a fool all the time, and I'm really good at it. I might have won like a couple of awards or two. Like,
nice.
But yeah, I did. I did a movie in here. I don't know how much I could say about the movie in here, but I was in it. You know what I'm saying? I guess you could say I was one of the starring people. They got some other people up in here that probably was in it too. I see a few of y'all. Some people, I see some of y'all who was involved in the movie. Who was also like in it. Traitors. Nice. It was fun. That was a fun experience. I'm not. That was a fun experience. I had fun doing that. That's like that was dope. Like, and it was a fun opportunity, and I got to kind of play like a person that was kind of very similar to me. So it wasn't really like a challenge. You know what I'm saying? I would like to try and play like let me play like a orange. Or like half of the pit. It take a lot. It take a lot to do that. I mean, you might think it's funny, but
if
take a lot.
If you were going to be an orange, you'd have to be quiet. That would definitely be challenging.
That's what I'm saying. Nah, but that was fun. That was a lot of fun doing that. I can't wait.
Well, and you were just in another performance that was actually singing and acting with the Bay Misses and Ramrock over in Horizon
that was fun too.
Night.
That was fun too. Tunes and Tales. Tunes and Tales was pretty good. They're gonna have another showing of that. Man, Horizon was fucking horizoning that day too. Like I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry that it was such it was like a bad Horizon day. So, but they're planning on doing it again. Yeah, if y'all get a chance to come and check that out, come and check it out because it's pretty fun. It's like a fun little.
And that's on February 7th is the encore presentation of that. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who are performing in here, and it's great to see all of these, different things. Now, let's talk about your collaboration and work with the Zen Royals. Because I know that that's, something that's been a big part of getting, your name out there as well and getting you some exposure, but also helping other artists who are coming into the metaverse, kind of get their feet wet and get some, leverage out there, their name in front of people, getting them involved with different, events. So tell us about that. What have you done with that?
Man, Zen Royals is like, that's my family. I'm not even gonna say it's like a family. Like I love those people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we collectively came together. And it's just the way Zen Royals came to be is just like it's like a story of people getting together of common interests and just like developing like a really, really good relationship. Literally like I was hanging with Tink one day and we was doing something that was like a party or a get together, and Tink was just kind of like inviting some people, and in a matter of minutes it was like 30 people at this fucking place. Like it was like packed with people and everybody was having a good time and chilling, and we had already become like really close friends. And I was like, yo, Tink, you would make a really good like music manager in here. Like for real. I was like, I want you to do that for me when we have events and stuff. And it's like one thing led to another. I was like the first artist in the Zen Royals. Like, right. We was doing stuff, just conscious stuff, social stuff for the community. And it just kind of morphed into that. And now it's like its own kind of machine, right? Like we have really developed, this whole brand and this whole thing of bringing artists out and introducing artists to the metaverse, right? So, that was influential and, moving to the next step of kind of what we got going on, now.
So it's funny. I'd like to mention that the Zen Royals is also one of our sponsors in here. And, Tink does a lot of work with artists, and as well, she also has her own podcast, Sisters for Sisters, that you also see up on the walls too. But what I love about the culture within Zen Royals is that the artists are not just, it's not a solo act here. Even though you're all doing your own music, you're actually working together. She fosters this family environment like you talked about. And, she's got you doing stuff. She's got, brought in other artists, Mike Lowry and different people that not only are you doing your own work, but you're also help promoting each other, and you're also collaborating together on different events and stuff. And it's a really great way to help people grow within the community instead of bringing you on and being like, okay, here's your dedicated person. You're just going to work with this and do your own thing. You guys all work together, hang out together. It's like, the collaboration that hangs together, thrives together, and that there it is. So it's really an amazing working relationship you guys have. Oh, and I think he may have black boxed, which happens, and hopefully he will come right back in. But yes, so I mean that is definitely, a great way to work with people within the community instead of, everybody being out there for themselves. I love the fact that everybody is kind of community oriented and working together. And we see that all throughout the metaverse. And here, we've got world builders working together to create an amazing, giant world or a big event that's happening, and everyone's working together. You've got Kip, you've got DJ Marcus, you've got Dub, you've got people who work together to create different worlds and actually, create a better experience for everyone who's involved. Speaking of, we'll take this little opportunity while he's getting back in here to just let you know that next week I'm actually going to be the one holding the show here. We're going to be doing a little getting back to basics here in Crypto City. We're going to talk about terminology, and we're going to talk about technology that has grown. And, when we first started Crypto City a few years ago, the technology is so far advanced than it was then. So, we're going to basically make sure that, everybody who has just maybe gotten a Quest for Christmas now understands some of the technology, because for us, we've been here for a while and we understand it and we're kind of running with it. But I've run into quite a few new people in the last month because they got a end of year Quest and they're in here and they're asking questions. They're excited to learn. So next week, back to basics. But for right now, back to Koan. So thank you for coming back to us. So we were just talking about, the fostering a family environment within the working confines that you guys are doing together. So tell us a little bit about some other collaborations that you've done in here, not necessarily, on a working level, but, just doing some events and some other DJs or musicians that you may have worked with in here. You might be muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me now? All right. Sorry about that.
We're good. No problem.
Yeah, I work with a lot of people in here. I work with in Horizon, you know what I'm saying? When I first got started, it was quite a few people like Daytona Vibes. Shout out to Daytona Vibes who did a lot and still do a lot for the music, and then I work with several different DJs, DJ Marcus, Ty Sky, there's DJ Nola. It's so many DJs in here, so many musicians in here. Like you said, even with the people just in the Zen Royals, you know what I'm saying? Like Mike and Fiji and the Bay Misses, and it's been a lot. It's been a lot of people, come to think of it, I never really really sat down and thought about the amount of people that I've met and work with just in this space. There's a ton of talented people and people who do all types of amazing stuff. And I think this is a great space for that. I mean, I love the space. I love it. I love it. I love it a lot. It's completely changed my whole way of doing shit, so.
It definitely opens up more opportunities all the way around, whether it's meeting people or just finding out about projects that you might want to be involved in. And that kind of segues us into our next topic, which is this new project that you have coming up right now that is about to launch. So here we are with That Hip Hop Joint starring you. And this is a collaboration that I'm actually super excited to be a part of. So this is a show that's going to be on Mr. Block Party Radio, which is a lot of our team is involved with that as well. But it's kind of cool that, you and I were talking one day and threw an idea out there and ran with it a little bit. So tell everybody about what you're going to be doing, what we got going on.
That Hip Hop Joint is a podcast radio show, right, on Mr. Block Party Radio, where I just kind of literally is this simple. I sit around and get high and play hip hop, and I play hip hop. Literally, that's what it is. But it's it's a laid back vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's a Friday vibe, and I basically curate these playlists of hip hop music that I love throughout the years of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I'm a connoisseur. You know what I'm saying? And I dig deep in the crates. It's not necessarily a lot of, crossover music. A lot of it is underground and a lot of it is hip hop. Some people never even really heard or been around, but I've been I've been in the creeks. So like this is something I always wanted to do. I always said whenever I stop rapping and I don't want to be doing, I want to like have a radio show. So like I'm very excited about this. Thank you, for because if y'all don't know, like the show wouldn't even happen if it wasn't for CityGirl. So like I just got the clap for you. You know what I'm saying? It's thank you for doing that. And Blue, you know what I'm saying? They're all some amazing people. Thank for Marcus for, having us in and putting it out. But like, I'm super excited about this. Like, we be playing some jams too. Y'all get ready for that. It's nice. It'd be funny. Sometimes it'd be like,
it's funny a lot of the time.
It's great. It's just good music and it's a good time. You know what I'm saying? It kind of remind me of those like back in the days when we had like video shows and hip hop shows that would actually come on with an actual host, right? Who actually like liked hip hop and and played music that was like meant something. So it's like one of those things. Y'all gotta check it out. It's gonna be real dope. I'm very excited about that, and I hope that I hope it just grows into something spectacular. But
it's going to be coming out this month on Fridays at 5, and it's going to be on MrBlockPartyRadio.com, so you can stream it onto your phone, on your computer, in your worlds if you're in here and you've got a player. So pretty cool, and it's been exciting to do, but also it brings us back to, you've got some guest hosts that have come on with you, including, you'll hear them when it airs, but
I think we should. I think I might keep the guest hosts a secret because it's some amazing people though. It's some amazing people.
Mm-hmm. But it is pretty cool that you've been able to pluck them from the community because he was like, you know what, this person, I think I'd rock with them good on stage. So, and it's been amazing to watch because, the love of hip hop is, obviously something that you share when you're sitting there chatting with someone. But on the other end of it, just the dynamic of being able to sit there on a stage, talk to somebody about, a topic in common and laugh about it and have a good time. The vibe of the show is going to be really great.
Yeah, it's dope. I'm super excited about that. It's like my favorite project I've done since I've been in the metaverse hands down. Like it's fun and I love it. I love the music.
Oh, I'm excited to hear that. That's great.
Hip hop is a part of me. It's a part of my being. So like, you know what I'm saying? I love spreading that. I love it.
And it's funny too, because I'm not really that big on hip hop from back in the day because I listened to different music back then, but he's playing music and I'm like, I know this song. It's kind of cool to be able to, you don't realize some of the stuff you just know by absorption, osmosis, things just seep in there. Actually, it's been a great experience because I've learned a lot listening to you. I've learned a lot about the artists and about the music itself. So it's actually been a lot of fun to be working. It's different. I'm used to being on the stage and now I'm working behind the scenes and it's definitely a different animal for sure. And we've overcome a lot of these technological challenges that we've talked about, but we've found workarounds for them and it's flowing much smoother now. And shout out to Blue for being there to sit there and just like she does here, running the slides and keeping everything on point and telling us when things are going a little bit awry and being our QC person over there. So
and then she has to deal with my Drake abuse. She has to deal with my abuse. So I'm gonna have to get her a really nice gift at the end of this because I always be messing with her about Drizzy.
It's kind of funny.
But I love you, Blue. Okay. All right.
She's over there shaking her head for those of you who can't see. But yeah, I mean, so it's cool though to see you, go from doing something where you're actually performing and rapping and singing and all that to actually, listening and talking and changing your vibe up in here. And has that been?
I'm a fan. First. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my coming up in the hip hop culture was literally like, me and my homies would get together on any random time. And our ritual was like, if some new hip hop came out, right, we're going to go to the record store. We're going to get the music. We're going to come back. We're going to hotbox in the car and play the music and like blaze a bunch of blunts and shit. Like it's like a ritualistic culture. And Fridays was one of those big days because it's the weekend, right?
Yep.
So we'll link up and literally that was like heaven, really. Like I talk about that in one of my songs called Forever, about that
Mhm.
period of like just kind of like falling in love, like deep love with the whole hip hop culture. And this was in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? This when I was coming up like as a teen, and the hip hop was completely different then, right? It was like it's almost like in the 90s, almost every hip hop person that came out was dope. Like the music was just dope. Like even underground cats, everybody was just coming with like good music. Everybody was, and, you know, and so that part of my life is like, you know, like those the ones to grow on. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I started rapping like that. That's exactly how I actually started rapping. We in the back, we listen to music, we getting high, we got some drinks, and all it takes is for somebody to just start freestyling, right?
Mhm.
Just out the blue, and you know, we vibing and you know, we kicking it. And I never really used to do that. I never used to freestyle, but one day I got high enough to just do it. And I start rapping and spitting, and then the whole group got like quiet. And I'm like looking, I'm like, what? It was like, yo, you wrote that? It was like, you know, it was like, and that was just it. Like people just like do like, no, that was like really, really good. Like in the beginning, I didn't think I was good at it. Like until people around me started being like, nah, dude, you really like you got something going, right? Then I just started battle rapping cats in the hood, and it just grew and it just grew, and then my ego came alive, and now I'm Koan Kenpachi.
So you heard it here. It started with bars at the barbecue. So there you go.
It started with bars, chilling in the yard with like Tangeray and blunts. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it happened.
That's too funny. So what else, like, you know, what else is there out there that you would like to see happen here in the metaverse that you could actually, you know, make happen, bring in here and start up?
That I can make happen, I would really like to start seeing us doing concert series that's like that makes sense, right?
Okay.
Concert series that you know that's, but you know it's kind of hard because the technology right now and the way things go, it kind of makes it very hard to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I just think we got to just keep doing what we're doing and keep plugging and keep finding ways to work around the problems to just keep bringing the music in here. You know what I'm saying? At some point, it's got to get to a point where, you know, we could do things a little bit more efficiently. But at the end of the day, I would like to have it to where we could actually do live performances. And it sound good and it looks good, and that you're able to bring you know, you ever bring a product to people that's like visually and like, you know, audio, like it's pleasing, it's good, right?
Yes.
And we doing what we can. This is hip hop right here, right? Because we making something out of nothing, right? Like hip hop started like that, right? You know what I'm saying? This is like from the gutter of it. You know what I'm saying? So we taking what we have and we injecting all of our soul and our energy and our music and our culture and our emotions and feeling, and we pouring into it. You know what I'm saying? So and just I think like the passion that the musicians collectively have in this space is helping push that. Helping push that technology, because we just make and do what we can, because we can't help but create. We can't help but do that. That's who we are. That's part of our essence, our spirit. We have to express. And so we, you know, it's just like we do, like reggae music, like hip hop music. It's music of the people. You know what I'm saying? That come from us and our necessity to express. So we're finding ways around those things to still bring you that and able to give you our art and you know, present you our art in a way where, you know, you can enjoy it. So like I'm loving every minute of pioneering this whole thing. Like I'm loving that. I'm usually not on the edge of the tech. Yeah. And not to mention that,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just met some really beautiful people in this space. Like I've met people in this space I genuinely love with my heart, like for real. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like those connections sometimes it's almost better than being in a physical space, because you know, if you know you could develop like a relationship with people in here that's solid, like that's real solid, you know. It's real solid because it's a connection of the mind, it's a connection of the soul, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's different. I love that about this space. I love that we able to connect with people. Like none of these people I would have never known if it wasn't for this
True.
space ever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Some of these you have never would have met some of these people, and some of these people are great people. Not everybody, but some people is assholes, but
just like real life,
right,
just like real life.
right. It's like real life.
But you could have walked by these people on the street 10 times and not ever have stopped, because you would have never even known you had anything in common at all. And then, you come in here and you meet people, and it's amazing to watch people, form friendships, relationships, business partnerships. It runs the gamut. You could just be, like, hey, I always see you when we're around. Hi. Or you're like, hey, what are you doing today? I want to hang with you more. Like there's a lot of different levels in here. And it is definitely a platform that fosters growth if you take advantage of it in the proper way. But I do want to take this opportunity to say, we know Meta, we know you have the technology. Please bring it to us. Please let us do more. Bring us better audio. Bring us the streaming. We know you have it. You got it at Meta Connect. We watch it. So let us have it. Bring it to the public.
Right. Let us be great. Let us be great.
Let us be great. Yes. Let us bring our ideas to the table and watch them succeed instead of struggling to try and make things happen. So, all right. So your IG is up there on the screen. If people want to get in touch with you, they want to maybe bring you on for a performance or have you be involved in their project, what do they do? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, you just walk right up to me, mostly because I be around all the time. You know what I'm saying? I hang out with a bunch of people. People know me. I have many leather-bound books, and my home smells of rich mahogany. Okay.
Jesus.
No, I'm just fucking with y'all. Just hit me up. Like hit up Tinker Love 1980. Like hit up Goddess. Hit up Ferrari. Hit up CityGirl. Fuck, hit me up. Like if you want me to come and do something to perform at whatever you got. Like I am very available. Instagram. Just hit me up. I'm easy to find.
Mm-hmm.
I'm easy to find. Yeah.
Thank you for coming on today and sharing
your
backstory and what you're doing right now. And I'm, again, super excited about this new venture with you and getting you out there onto the radio, but also onto YouTube. So we're going to have it, in both places. So if you thought today was entertaining, wait till you see this on YouTube, because there's going to be maybe an entire season of outtakes, because some of the stuff has just been so hilarious.
Yeah, and I'm being really good because I'm on your show, right? And I don't want to, what I'm saying, because I'm not really good. But yeah.
This is a family show, so we keep it a little bit more PG-13. So, but yes, so Fridays, 5 p.m. on Mr. Block Party Radio. Get ready to listen in. And thank you again for coming on. This is great talking to you on here, and we appreciate you supporting our show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for coming. You know what I'm saying? And check out the show. The shit gonna be lit. I'm telling y'all.
And check out his IG regardless. Make sure you follow him, because he's constantly involved in different projects and you'll end up getting to see him. And then next week, like we talked about during the little break there when you took your trip, next week is Back to Basics with me. I'm going to kind of give you guys an overview of all different things with terminology, technology, and resources. I'll be sharing some cool websites that are helpful. I'll be mentioning some people that you want to follow for more information, like Second Life Rich and Kip. Definitely going to be sharing some good stuff next week. For some of you who've been here for a while, it might be a refresher. And for those of you who are new, this is going to be stuff that you'll want to take notes on so that you'll be able to come back. Again, all these episodes that we do here are out on my YouTube channel. And also, we put them on Spotify now as well. And if you join the Discord, everything's uploaded into there. So you'll see the slides, you'll see the link to the YouTube, and you'll see the IG of where to follow Koan. So thank you all again. We appreciate you coming out tonight, and we will see you next Monday night. Have a great week.
Bye.